After almost 10 years of learning French, there are certain things that I wish I knew before I started, that if I had known them, my journey to fluency would have been less stressful and more full of fun. So if you want to save yourself years of pain by avoiding my mistakes, this new series is for you. Du coup, si vous êtes prêts, allez, c'est parti. Salut! Moi c'est Alex, and since 2014 the French language has been a huge part of my life, to say the least. I'm English, and on this channel I help other English speakers who are learning French as adults speak French with confidence. Alors, the first thing I wish I knew before I started learning French can be summed up as, when you're speaking to someone, that person cares about you and your message, not the quality of your French. With the exception of l'administration française or the random customer support lady on the end of the phone, because franchement, ils s'en foutent de toi. People you talk to in French care about you, not the quality of your French. My big mistake since the beginning, and I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys here because it's important, is that I tied a large amount of my self-worth and my identity, i.e. how I see myself, I tied those things to what I perceived the quality of my French to be at that time. And perceived is a key word here because I believe that each person's definition of quality is likely to be different. While this gave me incredible drive to succeed with the language, to move to France and to have excellent French grammar, it also caused me to be in my own head way too much rather than be in the present moment with the person in front of me. I would get very upset with myself over every little preposition I'd get wrong or verb combination I'd screw up. This led me to be a perfectionist, not wanting to risk saying the slightest wrong thing, which meant I progressed very slowly in speaking and understanding. But worse than that, I do believe that the accumulation of these things over hundreds of encounters robbed me of potentially deep relationships and friendships, because if every sentence feels like the most important sentence of your life, that's a hell of a lot of pressure to bear. And in an interaction, when you feel pressure and stress, that is felt by the other person. And thus, you're not relaxed and able to fully engage in the conversation and therefore the person. I hope this is making sense. People care about talking with me, the person, not the French learner. And not every conversation is a DELF exam in front of a jury. Sometimes it's good to just speak with what you have and focus 100% on the human connection that is being built, and switch to English whenever you need. But also, yes, people care about you, the person, but they also care about themselves. They have their own inner monologue going on. They don't have time to analyze all your prepositions and verb conjugations. They care about the message you're communicating so that they can fashion a suitable response. In general, of course. And I just wish I really took this to heart when I was at a lower level. It would have saved me so much time and potentially given me deeper friendships with French speakers that I do not have today. So what are the solutions to this? I'm someone who doesn't like to feel like I'm playing the victim in my own life because of things out of my control. I like to take control of what I can and look for solutions. Now, if you find that you are focused too much on every little mistake that you're making, you're putting too much pressure on yourself and you're potentially robbing yourself of important connections in your life, then I found two solutions that are working for me so far. Number one is keep the big picture of what speaking French will bring to your life in your mind at all times. This is going to evolve over time as you learn more about yourself, you learn more about what you like about the language, you learn more about what it can bring to your life. So just keep the current big picture in your mind at all times. I carry that into my interactions with new people, which helps me snap out of perfection mode and back into the exchange with the other person, be present in the moment. And two, I learned to describe what was causing me to get stuck in sentences. That makes sure my point gets across and the other person can respond, because it's inevitable when you're learning that you're going to get stuck. Even with the best of intentions, you might not be able to switch to English, and you also want to get better, right? So I'm not saying just switch to English right away and just use what you can, use what you have, because that's going to solve the problem. No. Clearly, if you don't have the level, you're not necessarily going to make yourself understood right away. But you can learn to talk around the issue, use more generic words and describe what you want to say, just so the other person can then respond, because that's all they want to do. They want to engage with you in the interaction and know what to say next. So yeah, describing things makes sure my point gets across and the other person can respond. If the blockage was important enough to me, I can look it up later. If not, I'll inevitably forget it and move on. Of course, sometimes I slip into old patterns because fundamentally I'm someone who loves the mechanics of structuring sentences. That's my passion. But if I didn't tie my self-worth to the quality of my French, I would have created more French friendships at the start and enjoyed the process more. And the further along I get in this, the more I realize it's the process that's important, not the far off goals. Those are less important. Okay guys, that's it with this much more raw video, and I'm really curious to see if you like this kind of video and if I should talk more about my own personal challenges and struggles with French on this channel. Would it help you out? I have a bunch more things I wish I knew to add to this, so if you want me to continue with this series, please do leave a like and express your views in a comment underneath the video, because that's really going to allow me to decide whether this is worth continuing with on the channel. Don't forget, you can join my newsletter to get exclusive weekly lessons every Thursday, where I often share about my own personal journey with French. And as well, you can hear about my courses when they're first released or any sales are on. A link to that is down in the description of the video. I'm really looking forward to reading your comments on this type of video. Bonne journée, French learner. Ciao, ciao, and profite bien du français.